Hey, it's Mike with Riding in the Ozarks, and I have had a lot of comments in the last couple videos where I was talking about buying a 2024 touring model, where people were asking me, what do I know about this, and what do I know about the 2025s, and what have I heard? So today, we're going to talk about the rumors I've heard and some predictions I have, and I have to give Harley Davidson a little credit here. Now, I know we've had a little challenge going. They've been trying to keep me from figuring stuff out. And so they're making it harder for us to learn things. When I say us, I mean content creators. Congratulations, they've done a really good job this year. One of the reasons they've done this, or how they've done this, is by making it more difficult for dealers or employees to leak information. So I just gotta give them a little credit. They have made things harder. A lot of people said, oh, the color sheets will be out soon. Well, I hear there are no color sheets this year. I heard they did away with that. And in fact, the only way you can see what colors are going to be for 2025 is by watching a video, and only like owners and general managers have access to that video because the leaks have been so bad in the past. So they're really working hard to keep information from us. So some of this is just going to be predictions. That's what we have this year. Now, when I was talking about upgrading to a 2025, several people sent me a link to a video that said that there might be suspension upgrades coming in 2025. They asked if I knew anything about that. I don't, other than what I've heard is there won't be any suspension upgrades for touring models from the factory. And that was what was said, from the factory. So what that leads me to believe is there may be some packages or some more suspension options that dealers can install. You know how we have these dealer-only packages, like the special, the ST, and the long haul package and stuff? So maybe there's going to be another suspension type package where you get upgraded suspension front and rear, and maybe a stage 1 kit, and we'll call it the performance bagger kit. I don't know. I thought that's what the ST kit was, but maybe there's more coming. Now, I definitely do not see Harley Davidson doing any significant changes, especially related to suspension, on the Street Glide and Road Glides that just came out. They talked a lot when we were at Vegas about all the changes to the suspension and how this was totally retuned and had new internals specifically for these bikes. Now, they could be doing that for some other models. If what I predicted is true and they're not going to have limiteds next year, they're going to make that a package, then that what else are you going to put suspension on besides the Softails, which might make sense. Some of the Softail models have less travel in the rear suspension than like the Heritage. It has a longer shock in that monoshock system. So maybe some of the other Softail models will get that longer monoshock to give them more rear travel. Maybe they'll get some upgraded internals on the front suspension, things like that. I can see that happening for the Softail models. Especially, that's really the only place I see you're likely to get suspension upgrades, unless it's for the Road King Special. And we'll talk about that in a minute. That's a whole nother topic. Now let's talk about the trikes. I've heard some interesting feedback from people who comment on my channel and from some dealers that the Road Glide 3 trike, the new trike that I leaked before it was announced by Harley Davidson a few years ago, is not selling that well. Now that trike was based on the freewheeler kind of design, with a Road Glide fairing on the front of it. What it did not have is a trunk set up like, or well, I should say a tour pack set up like the Tri-Glide has. It has a trunk, but it has a trunk that opens in a way that you can't put a tour pack above it. It's like the freewheeler. That apparently is a problem for a lot of people. Now, if you think about who's in the market for the trike, not all, but a lot of those customers are customers who have gotten older, like my dad, knees giving problems. My mom wants to ride with him. She wants a trunk to sit against. She's, no trunk, she's not going. That's all there is to it. And then that might be okay for some folks. That may not be a problem, but for a lot of people, and I've heard this from people who watch the channel and comment, they want the Road Glide 3 to have that tour pack seat in the back for their significant other to ride back there, whether it's an old lady or wife or whatever you want to call it. I've heard sales are soft. So what I could see happening, I haven't seen many freewheelers this year. I could see the Road Glide 3 replacing the freewheeler entirely. And then in the future, we get an upgraded or redesigned Road Glide 3 with a tour pack set up like the Tri-Glide has. And we'd have 3 trikes still. All right, now we're going to talk about the Softails because I think this is the family in the Harley Davidson lineup that is most likely to get a significant upgrade in 2025. Touring platforms got a big upgrade last year, so I expect the Softails are going to get a little love this year. We're going to look at what they've done in the past, where the bikes are at now, and what they're most likely to do and to which bike going forward next year. Hey guys, I want to take a minute and thank tonight's sponsor for this video. That's Beyond Riders. They've been supporting the channel, and I am wearing their new fleece hoodie. It's armored, Kevlar lined, all the same great features as their flannel and stuff. I'm going to be wearing this thing this winter and checking it all out. And then after winter is over, I'll give you a full review and let you know what I think of it. Now this is a slim fit, and I did have to size up to this. I'm normally an XL. This is a 3XL to get it to fit right. If you're interested in one of these, there's a link in the description. It'll save you a few dollars on them. This also has the thumb holes to help keep your sleeves down while you're riding in cold weather and stuff. So I like that feature as well. All right, let's get back to the video. 2018, the Breakout, the Fat Boy, the Fat Bob, and the Heritage all got the 114. 2019, the FXDR got the 114. And 2020, the Lowrider S got the 114. Now in 2021, the Street Bob got the 114, but we got several models cut. We lost the Breakout, the Deluxe, the FXDR, and the Lowrider, which had the 107 engine still. Now, in 2022, they gave the Lowrider S and the Lowrider ST the 117. In 2023, the Breakout got the 117 and the Fat Bob got dropped. So in 2024, we were left with the Softail Standard as being the only bike still with the 107. A lot of people thought it would get cut last year, but somehow it hung around even though the Electric Glide with the 107 did get cut. I think this year in 2025, they have to upgrade the Softail Standard to a 114 or they have to cut that bike. Now there's several bikes still running the 114 and I think there will still be several 114 models in 2025. So I do think it's possible that that bike will get an upgrade, but I would not be surprised to see it get cut either. I don't see a lot of them on the dealer floors. Then again, I'm not a salesman. I'm not in there every day. Maybe because it's the entry-level Softail bike, it sells pretty fast when they get them in. I don't know for sure. I have not had a lot of feedback on that. What do you guys see and what do you guys think about the Softail Standard? Now, if they don't cut the Softail Standard and they take it to a 114, the Street Bob has to get a bump to differentiate itself from the Softail Standard. I can see the Street Bob getting bumped from a 114 to a 117, and I think that's very likely to happen this year. And along with that, I think we'll see some other things that we've seen with some of these other models. When they brought the Breakout back, it got cruise control. I could see the cruise control being added to the Street Bob. It uses the same LCD display as the Breakout and the Lowrider ST, which also has cruise control. Now, when the Breakout came out last year, rider safety enhancements were an option for it, I believe. So I know that's a big push. We got ride modes with the Street Glides and Road Glide Standard this year. So I can see getting ride modes and rider safety enhancements as a standard feature on Softails going forward. So maybe a Street Bob 117 with rider safety aids and cruise control. How's that sound to you guys? You think that's doable? Now, honestly, I think the Lowrider ST will probably stay right where it's at on a 117 and the Lowrider S. I think the Heritage will get no love whatsoever. I think it's going to stay at a 114. I think that bike's fine with the 114, and I don't think the people that buy it are into performance as much, so they're not going to be upset and like picking a different bike because the Heritage doesn't have the 117. Now, what's interesting, for those of you that don't know, is the Fat Boy was originally released in 1990. So that means it's going to be a 35th anniversary edition, and they have traditionally done an anniversary edition Fat Boy every 5 years. So I think we will get a 35th anniversary Fat Boy this year, and I could see it going from a 114 to a 117. I mean, if they jump the gun to an even bigger displacement, like a 121, a 35th anniversary Fat Boy would be the perfect place to do that. Now let's move on over to the touring line. I hear the Road King Special is not moving that well. I would not be surprised to see it get cut. What I would like to see personally is for the Road King Standard to come back and replace that at about $22,000, $23,000, and we have something that is $4,000 or $5,000 less than a Street Glide as an entry-level touring bike. I think there is a market for that. No, it's not as big as a Street Glide and Road Glide market, but I do think there's a market for it, and I think that lower price point would be an appropriate entry-level price for a touring bike. Now, don't tell me it can't be done, because if you did not know, they are still making police editions of motorcycles like the Road King. They're not available for public sale. The other day, I saw a dealership advertising a Road King Police Edition for $22,000 out the door. Now, I would say $23,000 to probably put the other seat back on it and have the matched bags, but you could keep that thing pretty simple still and make that happen. I'm good friends with Jay Swordsby, who has a YouTube channel, and he is a Road King guy, and he can tell you all about what they need to do to make a 2025 Road King that customers will buy. Because he's a Road King guy, and he's really dying for them to come out with the new version. I don't think the Electric Glide will be back in 2025. I think, at least for now, the entry-level touring bike with the fairing is going to remain to be the Road Glide and Street Glides that were released last year. I've already mentioned it in a whole nother video, but in case you didn't see that, I do predict that they're not going to have limited models this year, that they're going to have a package that you can buy and have installed by the dealer, like these ST and Special packages, that would be a limited package. It would include things like the Tourer pack, lowers, maybe a different redesigned engine guard for those lowers. That would be like a limited package, and you could put it on the Road Glide or the Street Glide. If you want to know more about what I think is going to happen with the limiteds, check the link in the description and watch the video I've already done on this. Now, the rest of the family boils down to the sport models and the Pan American. Personally, if it was me, I would cut the Nightster. I think the Nightster S has better ergonomics and is a better value for all the features you get. And I don't think they even sell the Nightster in certain countries, so I could just see it being killed completely. Now, the Pan America, I think they'll do a Pan America Special again next year. I just don't think they'll do a CVO version next year. Now, for those of you that are wanting to know about the launch date, I predict that they will do the launch probably the third week in January like they did last year. I think carryover models will start shipping in December, and we'll start seeing some of the new colors and the carryover models in December. I think the bikes we don't see by January 1 are the ones that are most likely to get an upgrade or have been cut. That's what I know for rumors, predictions. That's what I've got for you guys. Y'all want to know what I thought, what I've been thinking about it. There's what it is. Y'all stay safe, keep on riding, and we'll see you in the next one.